most amazing top teners, how are you beauties doing today? I hope you're feeling fantastic. I'm Rebecca Felgate, and I'm both excited and a little bit scared by today's list. We have the top 10 scariest bucket list things to do. I love adventure, I really do, and I've done plenty of extreme things in my life, but here are 10 kind of wild, kind of dangerous, thrill-seeking things to do before you die. Before I get into this video, I just want to let you guys know that you can send us things here at the Most Amazing Top 10 Studio. You can send us letters, anything like that. Our PO box address is in the description box below. Maybe you can put that on your bucket list. I don't know. Moving on into the video, in at number 10 we have fly an aeroplane. Oh my god, can you imagine how scary it must be to fly a plane? To gain a pilot's license, you need to have 250 hours of flight time under your belt, although for me, I think taking one lesson would be enough for me to tick this off my bucket list. Imagine how scared you were the first time you ever drove a car. Now imagine flying your first ever plane. The views would be incredible and the sense of achievement would be high, but knowing a mistake could cost you your life is quite scary indeed. For me, I don't know. Could you trust a lady who trips over her own feet regularly to fly a plane? I don't think it's for me. Keeping it plane related, scarier than flying one would be jumping out of one, which is exactly what is coming in at number 9. This is a bucket list activity for many, and I can see the appeal. Seeing the curvature of the earth as you free fall for a while before pulling a parachute and floating down to the ground must be incredible. The views and the new perspective would be magnificent, life-altering maybe. For first-time jumpers, they're always tandem, so they would always be with an experienced skydiver who would pull the parachute for you. I find that quite comforting, although I have to say I would hate putting my life in someone else's hands. Can you imagine also being flown up there on that plane knowing that you were going to jump out of it, then the door opening and knowing that now is your time? Terrifying. In at number 8 we have extreme bungee jumping. Bungee jumping is one thing, bungee jumping off a high bridge, over a waterfall, or even off a cliff is another. Many thrill seekers add bungee jumping to their bucket list, but it's pretty scary. Getting the courage to take that step would be absolutely insane, as would the feeling of being thrust up and down on a large piece of elastic. In at number 7, something I really want to do, I think, is try blowfish. I am a huge food lover and I especially love seafood. This wouldn't be a bucket list point for everyone, but gourmands like me who love to try new things, trying one of the world's most controversial foods would be pretty exciting. Why is blowfish so controversial? Well, cooked incorrectly, it can kill you. Blowfish, or fugu as it's known, is a delicacy that takes a specially trained chef to prepare. Served as a delicious sashimi, fugu is Japan's most notorious dish, as if it's prepared wrong, it is more poisonous than cyanide. You have to be pretty brave to order the blowfish. Ooh. Keeping it fishy at number 6, we have participating in a shark dive. There are a few places in the world that allow you to be submerged in a cage underwater and hang out amongst various sharks, including great white sharks. In places such as the coast of South Africa, Australia and Hawaii, shark diving is something you can do for a fair fee. Of course, I have to admit it would be incredible to see such majestic creatures up close, making it a bucket list activity for many. However, there have been some instances of these dives going wrong and the shark partially infiltrating the cage. There is actually some pretty insane and terrifying footage out there on YouTube, although these kinds of accidents do seem rare. What is less rare, however, is injury during our next scary bucket list point. Moving on to number 5, we have bull running. In several Spanish regions, most famously Pamplona, bull running festivals exist. This is where people run through the streets trying to outrun several fighting bulls that are chasing them. It sounds weird to me, but this is a treasured part of Spanish culture. While many Spaniards are proficient at the practice, anyone can take part, which often results in a lot of tourist deaths. I mean, even Spanish people who have grown up with this kind of thing get hurt. so. Each year at the Pamplona Bull Running Festival, several people are injured and often people die as they are gored by these bulls. The cultural immersion and adrenaline are one thing, but the risk of death is a whole other issue. In at number 4, we have volcano surfing. In Nicaragua, for example, it is possible to engage in a spot of volcano surfing. This is where you hike a volcano, which is pretty hot by the way, with a wooden plank come surfboard on your back. Once at the top, you speed down a bank of volcanic ash on your plank to the bottom. It is harder and arguably more dangerous than it sounds, but it does look like a whole lot of fun. Coming in at number 3, something that looks like so much fun, we have wingsuit jumping. Wingsuits are often called flying squirrel suits because of their look. People get into these crazy suits and then jump off stuff, for example buildings, mountains, and then they literally fly. The average speed you can travel in a wingsuit is around 100 miles per hour depending on the wind, so pretty darn fast. You need to train how to fly in the suit and how to turn. If not, you could smash into, I don't know, the face of a mountain. While it looks like absolutely all of the fun, it is also absolutely all of the dangerous. In 2016, there were 6 deaths from wingsuit flyers, one of which was a world champion. In at number 2, another thing I would absolutely love to do, we have climb Mount Everest. This is a bucket list for me for sure, but it really isn't as easy as hiking up any old mountain. You need to train for this kind of intense endurance for years. Base hikes are one thing, but summiting Everest is very dangerous. Everest is the highest mountain in the world, and at 29,000 feet it is over 10 times the height of the tallest building in the world. The altitude is exceptionally high and the oxygen exceptionally low. To summit means passing a place called the death zone, where temperatures dip to a very cold climate. Over 280 people have died climbing Everest, including 19 people in 2015, most of which were from an avalanche. Okay, so in at number 1 of the top 10 scariest bucket list things to do, we have the ultimate prize, the ultimate goal, going to space. I mean, only a few hundred people have done it in the history of our world, and only 12 people have walked on the moon, so it's pretty special. Space travel is the ultimate bucket list goal. To see the Earth from above the world would probably put your life in absolute perspective. And can you imagine the views? Seriously. I would go to space in a heartbeat, however it is probably scarier than all of the things on this list combined. The liftoff is pretty intense in itself, with many space shuttles crashing before they even take off. Plus, it will be faster than you have ever travelled in your whole life. Getting to space is half the battle, and once you're there, I mean, there's like 0 gravity to deal with, and also you have to accept that you're kind of vulnerable out there on your spaceship. Re-entering the Earth's atmosphere means burning up in the surface. Spaceships are designed to deal with this, but the feeling of the whole thing would be pretty panic attack inducing. But on the other hand, space. There is probably one thing scarier than all of the things on this list, and that is living your life how you want to and chasing your dreams. So maybe put that at number 1 of your bucket list. So guys, that was the top 10 scariest bucket list things to do. Would you do any of these things? Any daredevils out there? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, do let me know if I missed anything out, because I would really like to hear what your favourite extreme thing to do would be. I'm Rebecca Felgate, this has been Most Amazing Top 10. If you like this exhilarating video, then do make sure you give us a good thumbs up, share this video with a friend, and of course subscribe to Most Amazing Top 10 for more fabulous lists just like this one. I'll see you next time.